Hey, sorry it's been a couple weeks since I posted. I decided to take a break. Sometimes this shit does grind my gears too much. But the other day, I was on a YouTuber's channel and wound up striking up a conversation with another creator who goes by Media Buster, and you should check him out. He does a lot of raw footage stuff on the things that the media lies to us about. And I've subscribed to his channel, and you should probably check him out as well. But we got to talking about the nuances of political stances or political tribes, I guess you would say, on the left and on the right. And he had pretty much taken the stance by the end of the discussion that he does not differentiate between liberals and leftists, and a lot of people take that stance as well. But I'm going to take a very different stance and say that it is very important that you do know the difference between liberals and leftists and how to differentiate between them. And the reason that I take this stance is very important. It is because leftists like to obfuscate language in order to confuse people. Now, language is a lot more than just how we communicate with each other. If you think about it, we all actually think in our native language. So if you can control the language and the meaning of words, you can control the language and meaning of thoughts, you see? And if there's one thing that the left obsesses over, it is control, and any way that they can exert any kind of control over you, they're going to. So it is very important to resist these things. For instance, leftists want you to believe that they're liberals. They're not. Don't let them call themselves liberals. Don't call them liberals. Know the difference. John Locke, for example, was a liberal. Karl Marx, not a liberal. Thomas Jefferson, liberal. Leon Trotsky, not a fucking liberal. Liberalism was a political doctrine that took protecting and enhancing the freedom of the individual to be the central problem in politics. And liberals technically believe that government is necessary to protect individuals from being harmed by others, but they also recognize that government itself can pose a threat to liberty. That is the classic definition of liberalism. Now, you will see that the left of today, they're not about individual liberty at all. Not one bit. So therefore, they are not liberals. The problem is equality versus equity. And I've talked about that before, but we'll dive into that a little bit more. Now, unless you've been in a cave somewhere, I'm sure you've seen this equality versus equity infographic. It shows the tall man, the medium height man, and the hobbit there all standing on one box, and that's equality. And then, rearrange there for equity, where the short man gets two boxes to stand on, and the tall man's got his feet in the grass, and that's equity. Now, equity does have its place, and this is a good example when everyone's trying to see over a fence. It does not have a place in economics. And it definitely doesn't have a place in economics being applied by unquantifiable characteristics, like race. Certainly, we can see that one man here is 6 foot tall and the other man is 2 foot tall, but judging someone's economic starting place based entirely upon their race, sexual preference, or gender identity is some of the dumbest shit that I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. But see, equity actually does do something for us. It's just not what the left wants. It allows us to see who these people really are through the costume, through the liberal clothing that they wear. When they talk about equity, they are leftists. When they talk about equity, they are dog whistling to all their other leftist friends, and they're hoping that guys like you and I will just think that they're talking about equality.
Is why should voters trust you rather than your opponent to deal with the race issues facing this country over the next 4 years? Vice President Biden, you go first.
It's about equity.
And that's the game! See, now Biden is a fucking liar, right? He came out the other day and said he did not support the Green New Deal, but at the time his website said that he backs the Green New Deal. Well, inside the Green New Deal is a plan for racial equity. But Biden still has his plan for racial equity on his campaign page. Classic Marxism is pretty much class warfare. It blames all of society's problems on the wealthy and seeks to take all of their fucking money and give it to the poor. And this is all done in the name of economic equity. What is racial equity? Well, that's when you blame all of society's problems on white people and then take all their money and give it to black and brown people. And that is what the left is advocating for. It is racial Marxism. Now, I know you're thinking that this is so fucking stupid, these guys can't possibly really believe in this. But you're wrong. They are that fucking stupid. They really do believe in this. And maybe they actually believe that black and brown people cannot be successful without the guiding hand of white leftists. Maybe they actually believe that. Maybe they're the real white supremacists. I'm not sure. But anyway, thanks for watching. This has been DWB. And remember, don't be a fucking commie.